Good morning and welcome. My name is Helen Jennings. I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator based here in the UK. And welcome into my craft space to come and do some crafting with me on what is a Friday morning as I go live here. So if you are joining me live, do pop on, do say hello. It'd be lovely to hear from you and catch up with everybody. And likewise, if you're watching on catch up, then do also comment and like and ask any questions, and um, I will pick those up as time goes on. So it's always lovely to hear from anybody that's watching, whenever and wherever you are watching from. So let me quickly introduce myself a little bit more. This is where you will find all things pertaining to my little Stampin' Up business, www.loveaduckie.co.uk. So whether you are looking for tutorial bundles, whether you're looking for inspiration, links to the shop, retired items, all those sorts of things can be found over on my website at www.loveaduckie.co.uk, and always changing, always new things being added. So do watch out for that one. And wherever you're looking for me on social media, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, YouTube, I have to keep remembering which is the ones that I've missed. YouTube, wherever you're looking for me, look out for Love-a-Duckie, and that is where you will find me. And it's always lovely to have you join me wherever and whatever it is that you are looking for. And if you don't have a current demonstrator and you're here in the UK or elsewhere in Europe and you would like to find out a bit more, do reach out to me, do get in touch. It would be lovely to hear from you, and I will always do everything I can to help. Let's bring in, we are currently still in February. We're the 10th today. So we are still in celebration, and celebration means freebies, free goodies is what celebration is known for. So whether you are placing orders of £45 or more, whether you are hosting an event that generates sales of £275 or more, or whether you are deciding to grab that fabulous starter kit offer, then you do get extras. You always get extra during celebration. So for your spending, there's freebies in the celebration brochure, and there are some more freebies that are up for offer that have just been released. So I'll show you those in a minute. So you get to choose what you would like when you place an order, what extra things you would like. If you are hosting an event, then you do get this gorgeous scenic garden stamp set in addition to all the stamping rewards and things that you would always get anyway for hosting an event or for placing a big order. Anything that generates sales of £275 or more, you would then get that free stamp set on top of all of your usual rewards. So not instead of, but as well as. And then if you're joining, then the joining offer is just fabulous. You have 3 choices this time, this celebration, as to what your joining offer would be. The normal joining offer is £99. So whenever it is, whatever time of the year, it is normally spend £99 or pay £99 and get £130 worth of product of your choice from any current publication or online or whatever, any current product. But for celebration, there is 3 choices. You could pay £99, the usual joining price, but instead of £130, you get to choose £170, a whole £40 extra during celebration. So if you've got a few things on your wish list that you would like, then there is no better time to join, because not only can you choose £130, you can actually choose £170. And as I always say, there are no expectations when you join up, only opportunities. And I'd be happy to talk to any of you about that if you would like to know more information. The other 2 offers include this little mini stamping, cut and emboss machine. So you can, for option 1, you can have the little mini machine in this beautiful boho blue colour, which is new for this celebration. We've not seen this before. So if you would like one of these little boho blue minis, then you can pay £125, so an extra £26 more, and you get your £170 worth of free product plus a mini machine. So that is a fabulous bargain. And the other option is to again pay £125, but have the original white mini machine in addition to that £170 worth of product. So lots there to whet your appetite and to hopefully think, what is on my wish list and is it worth, is it over £99 or getting thereabouts? Does it make it worth my while to have that joining offer? Because it is a fabulous offer. These are the other things that are now up for offer during celebration that you can claim for free when you place an order. So we've got this kindness cards kit, we've got a Let's Party treat packaging kit, we've got some white ribbon there, we've got a tag punch, a songbird punch, there's a Into the Clouds embossing folder, there's the Hive 3D embossing folder. If you've got the Queen Bee stamp and bundle, that one is a must have. We've got some loveliest layers decorative masks. We've got the Enjoy the Journey 12 by 12 designer series paper. And then with a £90 order, you could choose this stamp and die, Eden's Garden stamp and die bundle. That's a really good free item to have. So those are the extras that you can currently get if you are shopping. So yeah, well worth thinking. Is there anything that I want? Is there one of those freebies that I want? And what other things do I want that is going to be a £45 or more over, that I could place an order and get my freebie? Don't go missing out on them. We don't want to do that. Grab these bargains and opportunities while they are available. As I say, if you want any help with any of that decision making, do get in touch and I will be delighted to help you and answer any of your questions. So let's move downwards and let's have a little look at what's on my desk today. I have got here the On the Farm bundle. Now we've got a lovely little stamp set there featuring lots of little farm animals. We've got a pig and a piglet and cow, sheep, there's a chicken in there. We've got these patchwork fields, got trees and clouds and flowers, a few sentiments, got this hay bale just here. So lots of sort of farm elements. There's a set of dies that goes with them. I think you can see there's quite a lot of dies in there. 27 dies in total in that little set. Some of them will cut out these stamped images and others of them are more standalone dies. You can see here where these have been coloured and cut out, die cut, and then here we've just got the die cut little shapes on this little sample just here card. So really fun little set. Got some sentiments in there from all of us. Today is a good day, thinking happy thoughts of you. So some nice sort of fairly generic sentiments in there that are quite good. So here is the stamp set in all its glory. So lots of nice colouring in opportunities there, whether you're using your blends or you're stamping white markers or watercolouring them, watercolour pencils, lots of colouring opportunities there. And the other thing I've got on my desk is in fact one of the celebration items. So one of the current celebration items, you didn't say that, put your teeth in, is this pack of paper. And you can see it coordinates beautifully with this set. In fact, these animals just here, you can use the dies to cut these ones out, and I would suspect that some of those flowers and things and those leaves would cut out as well. So you've got lots of things in there that you could use your dies to cut out. On the other side of that piece, you've got this gorgeous big cherry cobbler check. Got this field scene here, and then trees and clouds on the other, trees and cows, not trees and clouds, trees and cows on the other side. This one is a cherry cobbler background with these sort of barn and cows and sheep images in white. And then the other side of that is this sort of almost like a Hessian type. It feels as if it ought to feel bumpy and rough, but it doesn't. But a nice generic background for things there. We've got the geese and the little chicks with the windmill. This is like a chicken wire effect on the back here. This one is a great big scene. It'd be rather nice if you've got photographs, if you'd had a day out at the farm. Very nice scrapbook page. And then on the back of here is this balmy blue with these white flowers. It's rather a pretty image. And last but not least, we have all the veg. So you've got peas and cucumber and tomatoes and sweet corn and onions. And then on the back here, you've got this nice stripe with this stitched effect in it. So some great papers there, not just for using in conjunction with your farm. You can see that I've been cutting some of them up, and I've been cutting some of them out. We'll come to those in a minute. So yeah, great papers, not just for in conjunction with your farm bundle, on the farm bundle, but also that you can be using with lots of other projects, scrapbook pages, all sorts of things. Rather sweet gift bags. Right, so let's bring in our stamp. Here are the dies. You can see here you've got all of the dies. So some of them will cut out your stamped images, other of them are sort of standalone, little rabbit, geese, cows, pigs, ducks. Yeah, really sweet. You've got this die here that's rather lovely, that you can be adding a fleece to your sheep. It's rather sweet. You've got your wavy hill one there. You've got these little sort of hillocks just here with the different textures on them. So a nice little collection of dies. I have got a couple of cards here that I have started to cut some bits out for. Let's start with this one. I've just got a basic white card piece there. So piece of A4 card, or piece of card cut in half, scored in half, folded in half to create your card base. I've actually picked out a piece of this paper that's got sort of the hills on it. Should we turn it around the right way? That looks much better, doesn't it? We've got the hills on it just here, and I've also got a piece of pear pizzazz card there. So my paper is 13.9 by 9.5, and my pear pizzazz card is 14.4 by 10. If you're doing in imperial, your card base would be a piece of, well, half a piece of cardstock, 8.5 by 11.5, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4.25. This would be 4 by 5.25, and this would be 5 by 3.75. So those are our basic mats. I've got a piece of card there ready to do some stamping. The other thing I have done is I've taken a piece of white card and I've used the Picture This die. So I've used the rectangular one and run that through my machine. So now I've got this sort of template piece here that's got these apertures in, and I've got these 3 stitched rectangles. Now on this occasion, I'm actually going to put the piece of card with apertures to one side, because I actually want to use the strips to do a bit of stamping on, and I've got some card there to do some sentiments as well. So some of this I think I might be able to stamp directly onto my rectangles. Some of them I will need to stamp and die cut. I'm going to have a cow and a sheep. Or am I going to have pigs? I think I might have pigs and sheep and some chickens and trees, and I think I might go for a hay pale bale. Might need some of the grasses and things as well in a minute. We'll have a look. We'll come back to those. I haven't yet put these, as you can see, not yet used. How often does that happen? I'm looking around for my sticky sheet, and it's right there in front of us. So I'm actually going to use the cow on this occasion, but as he's sitting here in front of me, let me just swap him. Let's take the backing off the cow as well, and then he'll stick better. So backing off the back sheet, backing off the stamp, lay him on, peel him off. Let's come in with the picks. I tried to do some preparation beforehand and then had entirely forgotten that I'd not done this bit yet. And sheep. Geese. Hay bale. So you're going to be the sorts of stamps that you're going to be often building up little scenes with. And be creating pictures, but rather than having to draw all the little animals and things yourself, the artist has done that for you. Just enables you to build up these pictures. I remember my children having, I still have it actually, and my grandchildren now play with it, a set of stamps from the Early Learning Centre with all farmyard things on. They could build up pictures with, create scenes. Right, so let's have a look. I'm going to take my chicken because I think the chicken you're going to be able to fit the chicken along this strip. Let's bring in some memento. Possibly gone a little higher than I wanted to, but that's okay. Let's bring in this little grassy stamp. I haven't actually stuck the sticker on this one yet. I'll go back and do that in a moment. Let's ink up the grass, and let's add some grass across the bottom here. I might come across again and make it a bit more grassy, a bit more of a dense lawn or grass that the chickens are busy pecking around in. And let's have a sheep and let's have the pigs. Doesn't matter if they are a bit wonky, I'm going to cut them out anyway. Let's swap one of these out. I'm going to put in some trees. And a hay bale. one wasn't as dark as I would like it, but I will sort that out in a minute. Take my scissors. I'm just going to cut a strip off of here. Put my chickens to one side. I'll colour those in a minute. Stack these blocks up in the background for a second. I'm going to bring in my mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. So this is the white original machine. Have a dig about and see where the mats are. You can see I've got lots of stickers on the top of here. Let's turn it around this way. So I've got my mini machine. So I'm going to do some die cutting. So I'm going to need my plate number 1. And then I'm going to need 2 of the acrylic plates. Now you can see that this one is very well loved, very scratched and everything else, but that doesn't stop it working. If you're going to use something like, going to cut something like some vellum out with it, you might decide that you want to put a bit of tissue or something on the top just to stop the scratches, marking the vellum or the foil. Look, what do I need? I need a pig and a sheep. Or you could set a plate, especially for best, if you like, that you'll use for those sorts of occasions. Right, so I've dug out there the dies for the sheep. A bit of tape there just to keep that in place. We've got slit. We've got trees. And we've got our little hay bale. Now these little mini machines, they're good, strong machines. You can die cut with them, emboss with them. We have special embossing folders to go with them, as well as special 3D embossing folders, and the plates all to match. So when you get your machine, you get your machine and you get your stack of plates that all go with it. Like all die cutting machines, any die cutting machine on the market that you buy, yours will have, you'll get used to your own machine's little settings. Some are going to be just slightly tighter than others, some will be slightly looser than others. They all have their own sort of little settings, not settings as such, but their own little they're all just that slightly little bit different, so you get to know your machine. So don't be frightened to get to know your machine. But with these little machines, sometimes people do have problems getting the plates through. Now it could just be that your rollers and things are just set slightly tighter than other people. So if you are struggling, there are a couple of options. One of them is to swap out the white number 1 plate for the number 3 plate. For some people, that is working beautifully. Just use your number 3 plate instead of your number 1 plate, along with your 2 acrylic plates, and that should work beautifully. But when it comes to lining your plates up to come through the machine, what you want is, you want to create, I don't know if you can see that, you want to create an E. So can you see the bottom plate and the top plate sort of pretty well in line? This is that, so that it gives a bit of a give in that end, so as that initial piece is feeding through the machine, you've got a bit of give before it hits that third plate to enable that to feed through. So set your plates up, whichever base plate you're using. Say I've got the number 1 and that seems to work perfectly on mine. Whichever base plate you're using, have that and the top plate sort of lined up, and then the middle plate just dropped back that little bit to create that E, so that as it's feeding through the rollers, it will be able to squeeze down and grab that plate as it goes through. So then once you've grabbed it and it's gone through, if you hold it down and just wind your handle, and through it goes. It folds up beautifully, so it's a lovely little compact size if you're crafting on the go, or like me, you want to have it out on your desk to die cut rather than the bigger machine. But it does the job beautifully. The width of paper that you can get through it is, I think it's about 9. Where are we? So the width of this piece here is just under 9 centimeters, so about 8.9 centimeters is the width of this plate. So that's why I cut this card down to make it narrower. So anything up to about, you'd probably get away with nearly 9 centimeters, but you want it ideally to be just under about 8.8, 8.9 to feed through there. But other than that, it chomps through the card just the same as any other die cutting machine. It just is that little bit smaller, lighter, more portable, and many of our dies will fit through it. You know, it's only really the larger shapes that won't. Lots of the others will happily go through. So we've got a little sheep, pigs, we've got Mummy Pig and Piglet, we've got trees, a hay bale, we've got our little chicken here. Might add some grass to some of these other bits as well. So let's bring in these bits, and I think we'll add grass to the bottom of both of those. So again, using the pear pizzazz. Let's add in some grass across here, and again I'm going to come across and sort of bush out that grass a little bit. I'm going to, I've got some green blends here in preparation. I'm going to take, I think I'm just going to go this is the old olive. For this cypressy looking tree, I think my light old olive is on its last legs, do you think? Let's just add in a bit of colour there, and I'll come back in on the other side. And let's blend that round a little bit. And then for the smaller tree, I've got some granny apple green here. Come in with the smaller one. And then we just grab a soft suede, at the end, I think. And we'll just add in some trunks. So there's a couple of trees. I'm going to take my light smoky slate, and then I'm just going to come in on this sheep around the edge, in down these legs, and some grey ears. I'm just adding some grey just to help that pop a little bit. So we're still leaving in predominantly white. We've just added in a little bit of grey shading. So there we have a sheep. Have some trees in the background. Let's come in with our little piggy pig. Now, pink wise, with my blends, it will have to be a flirty flamingo. To be a flirty flamingo pig. But I don't think I want to go with the dark flirty flamingo. I'm just sticking with the light. What I might do is come back in with this smoky slate and just add in a bit of the shading with the smoky slate, with light smoky slate, rather than with the darker pink. I might also bring in a colour lifter and just slightly add some paler bits to the centre. He's rather cute. And let's come in with baby pig. Of course, pigs don't have to be pink. Get all sorts of coloured pigs. Let's again come in with just a touch of the smoky slate, just to give him a bit of shading. And again, we'll just work that centerpiece a little bit with the colour lifter, just to give slightly paler section. There's our little hay bale. Now, our hay bale, a little bit round the edge, it didn't quite stamp as well as we'd like to. So I'm just going to come in with a black watercolour pencil. Just sort of add in slight dark detail there. And I'm thinking I might, let's put in the light soft suede. Maybe some of that markings, and then I'm going to take dark faux saffron here Let's blend over the top with that. To create our little bale of hay. And the last thing we have is our chickens. Wrong end. Actually, no, I think we want just digging about my colours. I'm going to go dark real red. I'll just add in a little cones with some real red and a spot of pumpkin pie for a beak. To come in with some of this soft suede around these feathers. I might come back to my light smoky slate and just add in a little bit of that round and about, but leave them sort of predominantly white with these brown markings on their feathers. Okay. We will mat these up like this. We can have our sheep, our chickens, the piglets, oh. Then we want to make these birthday cards. So I have picked out a couple of others. So we've got things like today is a good day. Today is a good day from all of us thinking happy thoughts of you. I think this one, I might come into the charming sentiments and have this wishing you the happiest always. Might want a slightly longer piece of white, yes. That's not a, we have plenty of white scraps. Let's come in with garden green. Ink that up. wishing you the happiest of birthdays. Just off. Oh, I took that too low. I've shaved a piece off. We'll come in and sort that out. Let's stamp it again. Gave it too tight a haircut there. That's okay, because we can concentrate on the bottom piece for this one. That's it. I've got some hair pizzazz card just here. Let's back these sentiment pieces onto some hair pizzazz card. A bit of liquid adhesive on the back. It's going on upside down, so it sounds as if this is a birthday card from Yoda. Happiest of birthdays, wishing you the tea. It's been a long time since I've had a cup of tea when I've done in live. Used to always have a cup of tea with me. Let's do a little wishing you the. Wishing you the happiest of birthdays. Let's bring in a bit of linen thread. I think you might like some of that. Right, okay. Let's start constructing our little card. So I think we'll have the hay bale stuck flat to the card, but we'll lift up the piggies. Need some mini dimensionals underneath the piglet. Apologies that that picture seems to have gone, if that picture's gone a bit fuzzy. Let's have them sitting towards the front just there. I think we'll do the same with the trees. I think we'll have the trees this end. And we'll stick the trees down directly. But we'll have Mr. or Mrs. Baba. Although, of course, Baba white sheep. We could have made him a Baba black sheep. Could have made him a Baba pink sheep if we'd have wanted to. We'll have them sitting forward a little bit. Where's that little sentiment gone? Just here. So I'm going to stick this mat of paper. It's got the trees and the cows on the back. Put that to this piece of card. I'm going to place these first before I I'm going to stick this one down to the card front. That coming this side, this coming this side, lining it up with that top one as much as we can by eye. To bring some linen thread around the centre here, to ending up this end. Let's wrap that round a couple of times. And we'll tie it off on this side in a bit of a bow. Boom. Let's bring in our chickens to sit over the top. And we'll add those with some dimensionals as well. One, two, three. That coming this side, more towards this other, to the right hand side of the card. Just there. And then we've got our two pieces of sentiment, and I think we'll stick these down with some multi-purpose adhesive, and we'll bring these centrally, wishing you the happiest of birthdays. So let's take this whole mat and attach to our card front like this. So there we have one little set of farmyard animals wishing you the happiest of birthdays. You could really cutify this and make it sort of, you know, great for children, old MacDonald's type affair. Make quite a fun little, you could use all these little animals and things, would make quite a fun little frame for a nursery as well, if you used all the right colours and things. So there's one little card. The other little card should come together quite already done some cutting. So I have got a piece of this gorgeous cherry cobbler gingham paper. So it's the back of the paper that you can die cut the animals from. And then I've got a cherry cobbler mat, which is 7.3 by 11.7. And I've got a basic white mat that is 11.4 by 7. It's just going to sit on there, and the one will it'll just help pop that from the background a little bit. And then I've got some of these die cut animals. I've got a cow, I've got a sheep, and I've got a pig, and I am actually going to stack them. I think I'm going to just going to temporarily remove Mum from Baby. We'll cut her out so that the pig can stand on top of the sheep. I use this little bit inside my card, or I could cut out another little Mum and Baby and give Baby Mum another piglet. I do want to take the stamp that has got his stamp just here with the grasses on. take that off of there. We'll add that to here. Ink up this stamp. Let's take a piece of white and let's add this grass to the bottom here. It's some granny apple green in there. Just going to come in and add these sort of triangle-y bits just here. And then let's come in some light old olive or not. Got a few colour of blends that I now need to be stocking up on. An old olive is one of them. And then the other colour that I got out was some shaded spruce. I'm going to come in with the dark and do these little blades of grass that are sticking up. And let's come in and add a bit of shaded spruce down there. Okay, just going to bring back in these lines in the back there. So there we have our grass at the bottom. And to take some dimensionals to add the cow. That's a mini one on his head. Oh, come here. I'll have him standing on the grass just here. And I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back of the sheep. Again, I'll use a mini one just behind his head. Let's have a large one. Might put a couple more minis on there just to give him some balance. And a little piggy. Back there. Now I've got the artistically inked stamp set here because I want this nice big happy birthday. Just about fits across the top there. And let's bring in this long stamp. I think I might do this in memento actually. I might go happy birthday in black. Let's ink that up. Top. And then I'm going to take a cherry cobbler. And I'm going to take the From All of Us stamp. Ink that up. Let's bring in this little bit of white just here. To cut that at a bit of an angle on the ends. Add it to a little bit of cherry cobbler cardstock. Trim that round to match. We'll decide where that goes in a minute. But first of all, let's stick this to this. Pop the lid on here so that we don't dunk our fingers in it. Oh, didn't want to do that at all. Actually, we might get away with it. Let's swing that round and let's actually add that to the glue. Wrong piece I glued, but I think we'd have got away with that. Add that to that cherry cobbler piece just there, just to give that pop in the background. Add our paper, I think, next to our card base. And then we'll put a mat on the top. Decide where I want this to go. Sure that I like it there. Quite like it here. But then we might need a little bit of something else just up there. From All of Us. So now comes the question. Can we get some clouds in there? And I think we might be able to. that just there so that we don't overlap. I think I'm going to come in. Ooh. Let's bring that back in. Must have managed to lean on that. I stand up for this job. And we'll just bring in some clouds in the background just to give a little bit of something at the top there. Perfect. My little piglet, I think I am going to save to add to more little piglets somewhere. So we've had some happy birthdays on the farm. Some of this out the way somewhere. So this one is just using the stamps and colouring them in with blends, adding them to some of that paper, coordinating paper from the celebration collection. But obviously if you don't have that paper, it could be any sort of papers in the background. You could use your grassy stamp to stamp your own papers, possibly even. And then this one is actually using the animals in the paper and die cutting those, although of course there's no reason why you can't stamp and colour your own little animals. And you can use the papers as a colouring guide if you want to have a look. You know, you can look here, looks a bit sort of grey granity on the bottom of this cow, possibly some soft suede just there. Use your papers as a colouring guide if you're not sure how to colour in your animals. So 2 cute little cards, both using the On the Farm stamp set, which, as I say, is so very versatile. Great for cards. These would be fabulous for adults, for children. Yeah, all sorts. Birthday cards for all sorts. That's what we like. So lots of reasons to dig into that bundle to be creating some beautiful cards. So I hope you have enjoyed those little projects. Do comment, say if you're watching on catch up, do let me know what you think. If you have any questions, do ask them. It's always great to hear from you, and it will be lovely to see you again. I'll be back with you on Monday morning. Have a fabulous weekend in the meantime, and don't hesitate to reach out if I can help in any way. See you all soon.